Hello everyone, Minute Plus Meditation here, Monday, December the 25th. We're in the Octave of Christmas. So today is the beautiful feast of St. John the Apostle. The first reading is taken from 1 John and the Gospels from St. John, so we're loaded up with St. John. So this is one of my favorite teachings, favorite scriptures in the entire Bible. It's so profound, so simple and yet so profound. Beloved, we declare to you what was from the beginning, profound. What we have heard, what we have seen with our eyes, what we have looked at and touched with our hands concerning the word of life. This life was revealed, and we have seen it and testified to it and declared to you the eternal life that was with the Father and was revealed to us. So basically, with the semicolons and the commas, it's almost the whole first reading. I just want to stop there and comment that, as I said, this is one of my favorite lines in the entire Bible. I mean, there's lots of them, but this kind of is up there near number one. We declare to you what was from the beginning. We have heard what we have seen, and this is it with our eyes, what we have looked upon and touched with our hands. For a Jew to say this, I don't think we cannot really comprehend the astounding nature. John is a Jew. For a Jew to say this, we have reached out and touched the word of life. We have touched God. That's what he's saying. We have touched God, the King of the universe. We have touched the one who's made everything, the ineffable, the unknowable one, Yahweh. That name is not even pronounced by the Jewish people. That's the closest approximation we have. Adonai, Kadosh, Kyrios, all of the names that basically indicate that he is unnameable. So whenever you see in a Jewish Bible, there's always never the name Yahweh. It's always G, capital G underscore D. They don't even say the name God. Or they'll substitute it with Adonai, which is the Greek for Lord, my Lord, capital L, Lord. John is saying we reached out and touched the word of life. That is what has been granted to not only him, but to all of us in faith through the incarnation. So we cannot just let this kind of be up there in a bookshelf, or packed away in some tote, that we have. This needs to be like opened up every day in our heart, our prayer. And I mean, we can't, live like we're in the 4th of July all the time. But we should allow it to affect the way we live. If this doesn't, I don't know what will. But there's also the fact that as Catholics today, we have the ability to reach out and touch the word of life through his presence in the Holy Eucharist. It's not just baptism, yes, he's communicated in some way through us through the water, but the water is not Christ. The water is like a conduit. The oil is not Christ. The words of absolution are not Christ. It's a conduit through which the grace comes into our soul, but the Eucharist is Christ. That's what's beautiful. That's why it's called the most blessed sacrament. It is Christ become present for us, so it is Christ. It's the only difference is he's present to us in a different mode of existence. Sacramentally, he's present to us. So we get to touch the word of life on our tongue. If you receive on the tongue, on our hand, that's why those who receive on the hand should do so kind of like with a trembling, with a great reverence. And we as priests need to always be teaching people how to receive properly if they do so on the hand, because there's a constant tendency on our part to be clueless, to be mindless, to forget, to walk away with communion and so on, and then put Jesus in our mouth. No, it's the word of life, So we all need to take stock about how blessed we are. Okay, from the Gospel, this is the 20th chapter of St. John. It's Peter and John running to the tomb, and this is what there's so many things here that could be pointed out, but John gets there first, Okay, so John gets there. They both run to the tomb. John gets there first because he's the younger, so it's, obviously he's got more wind in him. But then Simon Peter came, following him, went in, and John waits at the entrance of the tomb. It's almost like he's waiting for his elder. He's waiting for Peter because Peter is is you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church. Don't think John and the others didn't know what this meant. They're Jews. They understand what Jesus has done. It doesn't mean Peter's better than they are. They know that. But Peter has been selected, God's choice. So there's something here, because it's the tendency of youth to just, boom, go right in, right? He's super excited, and it's not like he's oblivious to Peter, but it's the tendency of youth. He's so excited. He's running to the tomb. Mary Magdalene has said the tomb's empty. It's like he's super curious. He waits. He did not go in. Then Simon Peter came, followed him, and Peter goes right in. That's Peter's nature, but he saw the linen wrappings lying there and the cloth that had been on Jesus' head. It was not lying with the linen wrappings, but rolled up in a place by itself. So again, there's so much that could be commented on here. I just want to focus on Peter's place within the apostolic college or the band. And John knows this. This is not, as I said, this is not just a courtesy for one's elder. It's not, the tendency, as I said, would have been for him just to rush in. Look what I found, Peter. Doesn't do that. He waits because there's something. John knows this as well as the others. They know that Peter's the one selected by Christ. You are Peter, and on this rock, you are Kepha, and on this Kepha I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. So Peter has this special place of reverence, of respect, and all his successors do as well. So whether the Pope is not better than any of the bishops or the cardinals, the woman cleaning the church could be far holier than the Pope. That's not the issue. The issue is he's the selected one. And as John paid him reverence, even though Peter had lots of faults. We know this, right? John was actually the holier one. Peter had his fair share of faults, but Peter was the selected one. He's the chosen one. He's the one that God, selected. So you and I need to have reverence for the Pope, love the Pope, pray for the Pope, offer mortifications for the Pope, and like John, in our daily life, wait for the Pope. We don't have to like or love the Pope. That's not the issue. He's selected by God, and therefore we need to really love the Pope, just as John would have loved Peter. God bless you. Have a great feast day.